Hey everybody, Barry here again. I've got a bit of a job on my hands again. I'm going to do another harness. So this is going to be my probably fifth one now, I guess. This one I'm doing for our buddy Michael Boland. He's putting a 5.3 in 81 Camaro, I think, or Firebird. And yeah, so he wanted me to do the harness for him. I wouldn't normally take this on right away because I'm doing this thing and I don't have a lot of time to get that done. But this is going to free up some cash for brakes or transmission stuff for U-joints or whatever. It all goes around. So yeah, let's get to it. This is not going to be necessarily an informative video because I'm going to put it on time lapse, start, and I'll shut off the time lapse when I'm finished and say, here's the final product. So what I'm going to do is just pretty much just go on the time lapse and do a nice background video or whatever people to watch. So yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to start stripping and we'll see you in a little bit. Before I get into this, you mentioned that the truck would start, shut off, and not run. This would definitely cause that. I can only imagine what the PCM looks like. I'll check the pins on these. This is the blue connector. Check the pins, see what it goes to. If it goes to any major sensor, this would definitely tell why it wasn't working. Somebody was going through the wiring, adding in ground, stuff like that. And you can see here, adding in their own ground wires and stuff, so trying to diagnose the problem. But I'm pretty sure it's in the PCM the whole time. So I've got a whole bin full of wires. Every time I do one of these harnesses, I keep every part that I strip out of them. And they're all in here. So I've got lots of PCM pin wires and stuff. So any wires there that are corroded or damaged, I'll go ahead and replace them. Well, that was a long couple days work. And for me, it was a couple days. For you, probably 5 minutes because of the wonderful marvel of time lapse. So, gas is in can. Everything's all hooked up. We've got a crank. We got fuel. And I have Michael's PCM hooked up to my harness. I was going to hook his harness up to test it, but my engine has a different setup with the cam sensor in the front, different crank sensor, that kind of thing. So without me basically rebuilding my engine, I can't test his harness. But I did go completely through the pinout diagram twice. Replaced any bad wires. There was 8 PCM connector terminals that were corroded really bad. I showed earlier in this one. And I replaced all of those, soldered, heat shrink, tape, conduit. It's as good as it's ever gonna get. So we're all good there. Plus PCM connectivity went perfect because I hooked up the OBD2 port to it, hooked up here, bought the credits, tuned it. I put my 3-bar speed density tune in it because that's the setup that's on my engine right now. And when I verify that the PCM is good, then I'll go ahead and put Michael's tune back into it, which is quite the spicy tune. I put the rat rod tune in it, which had a lot of up-top timing, somewhere around 30 degrees. And he's going with a non-electric, older turbo 350 transmission. And so that's gonna be really, really nice. It's going in a late 70s, early 80s Firebird. And it's gonna be a savage. So I cannot wait to see that on the road. But let's see if this thing's gonna fire up. I'm not quite as nervous as I was the other day because I know it runs. So I'm more excited now than anything because I just want to hear it run again. So I'm gonna go open up this door and yeah, get her on the go. Also, side note, I gotta talk to Craig about potentially doing a video on this thing. Craig's my boss here at CarQuest. This is where I do all my videos and I appreciate that very much. Somebody asked me about this thing, and under the cover here is a Mini Cooper S, and it's got a lot of goodies. So, and somebody asked me about it, so it's time to see if I can do a video on it. I like a walk around or maybe even interview Craig. So if you're watching, heads up. Let's get this door open, get the van running. So again, it's probably not going to fire up the first time because it's got a speed density tune in it. There's no mass air, and this is the first startup since the tune was put into it. So it always takes 2 or 3 attempts. Also, there's lots of air in the lines, so let's see if I can prime that now. Sounds good. Everything's all good there. No leaks or anything. Let's see how it goes. There we go, it's our first attempt. I seriously love this thing. Oh wait, I forgot to update the injector data again. It thinks it has 25 pound-per-hour injectors in it. It actually has 70 pound-per-hour injectors in it. Let's fix the tune. That's twice I've done this now. I will learn at some point. Look how much smoke there is in here. Like 10 seconds running. Oh, it was putting like 3 times the fuel in it that it should have been. I'll get it fixed really quick. How about attempt number 2? All right. Fuel pump. Well, it should be primed anyway. Coolant's good, or water. Ready? Sounds a lot healthier. Still a little bit red, but let's get a door open. Man, that sounds good. Oh, I love it. Man, I love how this thing runs. It sounds wicked. Oh, it works. That's basically all I'm supposed to do here, but you gotta rev it up. Alrighty, well that's it for that. I can't wait to get back in the van. Not bad, 2 days. I'm getting a little bit better at these harnesses. They come out clean. Everything looks good here, all loomed up and stuff. I'll label every connector, so Mike will have no problem at all getting everything plugged in and done. These are really simple standalone ones anyway. So anybody around Central or in Newfoundland at all, whatever, if you want to mail it to me, I can absolutely do a harness. Just send me a message on Facebook, something like that. And yeah, so I'm going to finish her up here now and go home and dream about putting a drive shaft in the van, because that's my next step, is to hopefully get something here put in the van. And my wife is going out of town this weekend, hopefully going to Clarenville to pick up another drive shaft from Dean. Hey, Dean. And so I'll make something work. This is going to be doing burnouts very, very swiftly. Cannot wait. So thanks for watching again, everybody. Have a good night.